Hey, what's up, y'all? Today I just want to talk about blue revolvers. I don't have anything super important or particular to say. I just pulled out all the blue revolvers I got and lined them all up, and it's just like, yeah, you know what? I need to make a video about my new Chief Special anyway, so this beautiful piece right here. So maybe I could just talk about it some more in here, show a little bit more. But, God, I don't know what it is about a blue revolver with the wooden grips that just makes it incredible. So one thing I don't like about this big-ass tank of a Taurus here is that it has a weird compact frame. So you can't really put panel grips on it. And I have wooden grips for it, but they're just fucking huge. And it just kind of, I don't know. For that particular one, I stick with the rubbers, the stock ones, because they are a little bit smaller. It's about the smallest grip I can find for it. And I don't feel like going through the trouble of taking that grip off, but it's just the frame, it just wouldn't work. So, anyhow, all the rest of them got the wood. Even the little mini Taurus tank right here, the 605, 357, 5-shot. This fucker is a beast. I'm telling you, it's a beast. You can do some real damage for a little gun that fits in your pocket. It probably could I would imagine with the rounds I got in it, the Buffalo Bore rounds and these couple of Winchester rounds, I wouldn't be surprised if it could stop a car. It might take it a minute, but you dump all 5 of them into the engine, I have a feeling it won't make it much longer. And that shit'll fit in your pocket. So anyhow, I got all kind of shit to talk about, really. Because, as you can see over here, I got some new weapons. Found out some things. I found out I'm from Illinois, I'm from Indiana. I stayed in Illinois briefly in the past, but from Indiana. And I always thought that knuckles were illegal. Everybody says they're illegal. Well, I just found out that in Indiana, they are not illegal at all. I said, no shit, huh? All these years, I've probably been carrying a pair for 10 years, and I thought that they were illegal. But thankfully, I've never had to use them yet. They're not really so much to start a fight with, but I guess just if, next time I get in a fight, if somebody decides to be a cheap shot and piece of shit, I'm going to wear their ass out with these things. But otherwise, they just probably stay in my pocket. This is a pair I got both of these this last month at the gun show. These things are huge. It's very classic old school style brass knuckles. You can see the difference between them. Well, maybe you can't on the camera. These darker ones, yeah, there they go. They're skinnier than the other ones. These I don't usually carry because they're bigger. The pair I used to carry all the time are about as thick as these, so I just got this because I liked that they're brass colored. This other pair, though, is skinnier, a little lighter, so it doesn't weigh me down so much. But these things, how you can put both of them on the same hand, or you could put one on each hand and just really tear someone up. Then I found this guy, this little switchblade. It's different. It's got a button here, locks up here, but it's a nice, super sharp fucking blade on this thing. It is razor sharp. The tip of it is extremely sharp. I bought this first, fell in love with it. I wanted like a white pearl on here, but the only one that had white pearl was it was like a gold colored. I just wasn't digging that. Although thinking about it, I probably should have bought both of them and then just swapped the friggin' panels on it. But anyways, this is cool as shit. It's always under tension. The blade's always under tension, so no matter where you let go at, it always flies back up. But this thing's very cool. Started carrying this on me for a while. And I was like, I want a traditional, old school style switchblade, not a new version of it. So I finally found this at the gun show in the next county over from me. They had a guy with these, and This classic old school. Pull it here to close it, and then these blades are not always under tension, so you can. They just kind of hang loose, tuck it back in, and just. It's fucking awesome, dude. This is so cool. And I thought switchblades were illegal in Indiana. Nope. Since 2013, they were made legal again. So, yeah. I thought I was gonna. I had the other one I've been carrying for a couple, probably about a month, and then by the time I got this, the guy at the gun show had a sign up showing all the different states that they're legal in. It said Indiana in 2013. I was like, no shit. And I'd often wondered why it was that you can get a spring assisted, you just flip it open with your finger and it fucking flies open just as fast. It just didn't have a button on it. I'm like, why would that shit be legal, but this isn't? They open just as fast, but I guess whoever is making the laws decided the same thing, that it was kind of stupid to have these illegal when the other ones weren't. So, it's weird because Indiana's actually made a few steps in the right direction. They finally, in the last few years, have made it where you don't even need a carry permit to open or conceal carry a gun. And they made, I mean, I don't know if knuckles might not have been illegal to begin with. I don't know. I just know that they're legal now. And then to make shit like this legal, that's a few steps in the right direction. Most states would be trying to take shit away from you like that. But you still can't smoke weed in Indiana. Now, right across the line over here, you go to the Illinois, and you can smoke all the weed you want, but you can't defend yourself for shit. Because, guns are, you have to probably be an Illinois resident with a FOID card. And, I know if you're out of state, if you have a carry permit from your state of residence, you can have one in your car, and that's it. Switchblades, extremely illegal. Brass knuckles, very illegal. So it's like, dude, so in Illinois you can get high, but you can't defend yourself. But in Indiana you can defend yourself, you just can't get high. It seems fucking stupid to me. It just seems stupid. At the one last month, I picked up this little 2-pack of these little blades right here. Sorry, I'm trying to do this one here. Let me know it. We're going to get back to Revolvers. Sorry, I just got sidetracked. I figured just get this shit out of the way now. We're going to talk about Revolvers. What's up, fuckers? Alright, so it's got this chintzy little sheath on it, but it does work. I mean, it will go on your shoulder and stay where it's supposed to. Where are we at? Okay, so I can look at you guys instead of looking everywhere else. So you got the shorty, one-handed blade. Nice and sharp. Actually, it's decently sharp. You got the short blade, and then of course you got the two-handed bigger blade. Nice little, I don't know why this cut out, probably to make it lighter and cheaper to make. Only cost me like $20, I think. Shit, at gun shows, when it comes to weapon, like knives and shit, you can get a lot of good stuff for $20 or less. Especially for $40 or less. You can get some really good shit for $40 or less. And other assorted weapons. But, I don't even have use for these things, but, I don't know. I had some money specifically for the show, and I hadn't spent everything, so I went around looking for random shit. This thing, dude, fucking awesome. I still really like this other one. This other one is nothing to sneeze at. Slightly bigger, the base of it. I think they're roughly the same length, and this thing flies out of there. And this sucker, I mean, this thing is weighted perfectly. I mean, I've gotten pretty good with throwing knives. I'd literally take this and seriously hurt somebody by throwing it. It's perfectly weighted for throwing knife. And this one, you just push the same button to close it. It doesn't have the thing up here. But, I mean, anybody that's seen any of my videos knows I'm fucking old school everything. I love old school shit. In every way I can possibly think of. Music, movies, TV shows, guns, cars, other weapons, some style. I don't know, just anything you think of. I got a fucking console record player over here from the 60s that's this big old fucking console, you know. It was its own device, and it was inside this big cabinet with its own speakers in it, and a big spindle on it. Stack all your records up, turn the thing to auto, and it just drops one at a time. Plays all the way through, drops the next one, plays all the way through. That was literally the original playlist. I just like old things. I got some old school stuff. My dad got me this old school tabletop lighter. Elephant. It doesn't work. I don't have a tabletop lighter that works because they either need fluid or they need a wick or flint or something, and they don't use Zippo flints. I've already tried that. That sucks. But I got some other old school tabletop lighters and shit like that. But I got this. I fucking love this thing. It's got the lock on it here. Push it up, and it keeps the button from going down. And then you just slide it down. It's fucking awesome, dude. I love it. I love old school stuff a lot. So, alright, about these blue revolvers here. It occurred to me after all my trades and everything else, I only have one nickel revolver and one stainless. All the rest are blued. Two nickel plate revolvers because I have my single action, but it's fucking broken, unfortunately. So, but otherwise, yeah, they're pretty much all blued. Although I have a feeling I might be getting some more guns here soon. I might be getting 3 more, 2 or 3 more. Should be 3. I don't even want to talk about them yet. I don't know. I'll save that for another day. But I might be getting some fucking 3 cool ass revolvers coming in. So anyhow, blued finishes. When you look at the blued finish, I mean, because not only are these revolvers themselves, not only are they just old school and classic as it is, but the look of the blued with the wood is just, it's incredible. When I was younger and I didn't like revolvers growing up because I was born in 81 and revolvers were still really predominant even into the 90s. Even as autos were taking over, a lot of people still like revolvers. And I didn't really like them as much because it was still a popular thing and I just don't really dig popular shit. So now that revolvers, you know, most people have forgotten about them and they look at them like they're just a cheap novelty, something to put on your coffee table as a conversation piece kind of deal. Now I fucking love them. So, but this, even back then, what I meant to say when I was younger though, and didn't like revolvers really, I just always had a soft spot for a blued revolver with the wooden grips. I always just really liked that look. And you can see how beautiful. I didn't wipe these down though, so they might have fingerprints and make them look a little dull. But that beautiful blued, nice shiny finish of Smith & Wesson. The Colt is hard because this frame has been blackened. I don't really know what you call that. I don't know if it's technically called blued. The cylinder, the barrel, the crane, and the ejector rod are all actually blued steel. But the frame itself has been like darkened. I don't know. The back of it, from carrying it so much, you can see what it did. It just rubbed the finish right off of there. I'm pretty sure I've showed that before. Very disappointed, but at the same time, you know what? It gives it fucking character. And you can tell this is a gun that I've actually carried. What really surprised me, well, first off, let's show this one here. You got the, look at that finish, man. It's just, I mean, dude, there's just something so sexy and cool about a blue revolver with wooden grips. That's why it literally hurts my heart. It hurts my soul to see somebody buy a beautiful old revolver like this and put rubber grips on it. It's, I mean, so much so that they shouldn't even be allowed to buy them. There should be a requirement to find out if you're going to buy one. Like, are you going to keep the nice wood grips on it and put rubbers? Oh, rubbers? No, sorry, no sale. Oh, you want to pay twice as much? Man, sorry, no sale. Can't do it. But I was very surprised that this, my very first snubby, this 7-shot Taurus, dude, this thing has an incredibly beautiful blued finish too. It's really hard to see with this lighting and the camera and all that, but dude, I'm telling you, this is equally as beautiful of a finish as any one of these Smiths, easily. I mean, this thing is immaculate. And it's almost like when you look at that blued finish, it almost looks like graphite color, or like when you look at it in the light. When you don't catch it in the light, it almost looks like they're black. But when you catch it in the light, it looks like graphite, or almost like what I call like a dark nickel plate. It's almost like the opposite version of a nickel plate, a darkened, still got the same kind of shiny mirror-like look to it, but it's just dark. But I was really surprised because then now that was an older one, that was a used one that I bought, and then they have other 5-shot ones the same that are same kind of finish. But then I got this thing brand new, and this just looks like, I mean, that finish makes it look like kind of like a turd. Don't get me wrong, I love this thing. I just wish it had a nice polished blue finish to it, because it's, well, I've heard so many different names, and I don't know what the difference is. Cherrycoat and what the hell else they call these things? It might not even be how you say that word. I don't know. I've heard a whole bunch of different words. It just basically mean a matte black primer look to it, like a primer black look to it. And it ain't so bad for $330-ish revolver, but I don't know. It don't do it for me. I bought it at the time because I only had one snubby, and after having a 7-shot, I wanted a compact version of it. So I went out and bought this, and they didn't have any used ones, but they do have old school ones. The 30th special only, maybe it's the model 85, and the older 605s. They have actually really nice blued ones, and they had like a little divot right here in the front of this ejector rod shroud right here that looked really nice. There's some of it look really, really nice, but I just, started buying old school shit and said, fuck it, I don't care, I'll just stick with the one I got. But this Chief Special, this actually does not quite have as fancy of a finish as the 36. It might be hard to tell, but you see how there's almost like, you try to look in it, let me wipe it down and make sure we're getting this right, but when you look at it, especially in person, you can tell it just is a little bit darker, a little bit more dull of a, it's not like a high gloss finish. Oh no, there's a clean mirror, look. I'll probably wipe this one down too. But when you look at it, it's just not the same. On the camera, they may very well end up looking the same, but when you look at them in person, this one does not have quite as nice of a finish. Now this is technically people would call it a pre-model 36, and this is the 36, but my pre-model 10 I used to have, that thing had a very matte finish. Not quite as much as this, but it was closer to this than it was either one of these. It's a very dull look. And to be honest with you, if that thing had a nice high polished blued finish, I probably would have never gotten rid of it. It would have been just beautiful, but I don't know. I only bought it for trade purposes anyways, but I'm just saying if it had a nice polished blued finish, I'd probably still have it to this day. But this thing is just so cool. I've been carrying it. I love it. This one came with the diamond grips because it's a flat latch diamond grip. This is like I said, it's a pre-model 36. It's got the screw here. The 5th screw was here. Now, I've seen model 27s and registered magnums and that sort from Smith & Wesson where they got rid of this screw first. So the 4th screw on those was the trigger guard screw, and this was the 5th screw. But in this particular case, like on J-frames, this was the 4th screw. That was the 5th, because there's nothing there. I mean, just a reflection, but you can see there's no screw in there. It probably almost kind of looks like it with that reflection, but yeah, see. But this thing is amazing. I haven't got to shoot it yet. I've been waiting for the right opportunity for that. Just go out in the backyard and pop off a couple rounds, but I do have neighbors, so I don't want to make it too crazy. One thing else I noticed is that, got the paint off that dipshit put on the side right there. Got it off. Got some nail polish remover. And I was afraid to touch the metal because they said it shouldn't hurt the metal, but it could take the oils off and make it look like shit for a while. So I held it to the side and sat here with the Q-tip and just kept slowly brushing at it, kind of working up and down and going, and didn't get any on the rest of it, but I got that shit, and it's completely off of there, and that makes me so happy. I just, God, that irks me when I see that, man. And I know a lot of guys do it, but, you know, a lot of guys do stupid shit, other stupid shit, and don't make it cool or right, but just because a lot of people do it, you know. I don't know. I just can't see. Honey, yes, I just bought this revolver. So, almost 70 years old. Can I see your nail polish? I just wanna just put some of it on my 70-year-old gun, just because, you know, all the times I'm gonna need it in shootouts and things, and you know, be able to see it at the range and get it proper. Shut the fuck up. Dude, stupid. It's stupid. I don't care. I said it and I'll say it again. It's just really... That was stupid. That was stupid. I just dropped the fucker. But, this thing is just... This fucking lighting's not that good, man. I'm sorry. You just can't. Cat hair on it. Alright, Jake. Yeah, I guess I missed a couple little specks. No shit. I was wondering what that was. Alright, well, I'm a liar. I didn't get every last bit of it off, but I got most of it so far. Damn. Hell, I didn't even like having asked my ma to borrow her nail polish remover. I felt stupid doing that. Dude, this is not really coming in too clearly. This phone is kind of a piece of shit, so, you know, bear with me here, but, nah, whatever. Screw it. This thing is just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm sure somebody somewhere... I can't believe you're showing these as you didn't unload them. I'm not pulling any fucking triggers, so shove it up your ass if you got a problem with it. And I know I don't recommend doing videos of your guns while they're loaded. I just don't fucking care. So, I refuse to conform, folks. I fucking refuse. And you cannot make me. This thing is beautiful. There's something about this particular angle of a gun. When you look at them from this angle, it's just, I don't know. It just makes them look even more beautiful. And then when you see them from like... I'm trying to do it. It'd have to be like there it is, that angle too. When you see him from that angle right there, where you can see the butt and everything, it kind of gives you a good, you know, idea of the dimensions. And I don't know, it's just I've seen pictures of guns like this, and that particular angle looks really good. Oh my god, he was holding a trigger on a loaded gun. It's like a 10-pound fucking pull on it, dude. So, another thing I noticed. The hammers. If you can tell, see, this has got a little bit of a deeper divot. Ah, damn, this is so hard to do this by myself with just a phone that sucks and trying to focus shit. You see, they're just not quite the same. And you can see the check ring raised up on this one. You can't really see it so much raised up on this one. It had a little bit finer checkering to it. So let's see if I can get both of these to come up clearly. Yeah, I mean, even if it doesn't focus properly, you can easily tell. Yeah, see? Very different. This one is much easier to grab a hold of. Much easier. Come on, dude. Come on, you bastard. You just had it. I can't reach the picture they got there. This one's much easier to grab onto because it's got that bigger, more coarse checkering. This ain't bad, but it just seems slightly slipperier. Like almost like your thumb. You almost got to push a little harder down with your thumb when you pull it back, just to make sure, you know, get in and don't slip. But It's beautiful. So I had watched a lot of old Western TV shows, and there's times where I'm watching and it seems like, I don't know if it's just the person themselves, like they were just a large dude and they had big fucking hands or something, and the 6-shooter looked small in their hands, or if it just was literally like a smaller 6-shooter. And being that it's Hollywood and they're not always using real guns here. I mean, sometimes I'm sure they use real ones with blanks or just real ones for authenticity's sake. But I don't know, maybe it was just, maybe they had just a smaller version of the single action 6-shooter, a typical 4-inch single action. But it just looked like a smaller 6-shooter. And that's one thing that made me fall in love with this, because I've always been a snub guy for the most part. There are some models with 4-inch barrels that I would really like to have, and one day will. But this is like my little mini 6-shooter. It reminds me exactly of that miniature 6-shooter that I would see in some of these old shows. And it's not very often, like Clint Walker was one person I've seen look like he had a smaller 6-shooter, but the dude was like a fucking mountain. So, he was huge. So I'm sure, when you put it in his hands, it looks smaller than what it actually is, But I just fell in love with it. I love pocket guns, in case you hadn't noticed. I love little pocket pistols, I love them. And I'm just obsessed with pocket pistols and old school calibers, like 32 Smith & Wesson, 38 Smith & Wesson, 25 auto, just like what I call classic calibers that people don't really use that much anymore, and sometimes you might have trouble finding them. But I just have this obsession with it because I love things from the past. So, fuck it, I'll just tell you. What I'm looking at, I have a little bit of money should be coming in soon. It's not 100% guarantee, but I'm pretty sure that I'm going to have some money coming in, a few $1,000s. And if I do, I plan on getting a beautiful mint condition nickel plated model 31. It looks just like this, but it's nickel plated. It's a 6-shot 32. I found pearl grips from my guy in Thailand that I get my grips from. Every time I've periodically bought another set here and there. I've probably bought like 4 sets of fake pearl from this guy over the years. And yeah. And each time it looks nicer and nicer. Well, now, because it's been a few years since I bought from them, I looked them up, and oh my god, they almost look like real pearl. The dude is doing a bang-up job on them, and they almost look like real pearl. And so I'm going to have, the one has its box and papers and its original grips. They got the skinny checkering pattern. I have out here like that right now. That's what came originally in this. This one did not come with diamond grips. I just put them on because now I not only do I like the diamond on there, but the diamond grips are always slightly darker than the ones without. And I think that looks better with the blued finish than the other ones already do. Let's see if I can get these two up here. These are both. This is one without a diamond, and this is with. Yeah, this is the lighting. I think you can't tell, but this one's lighter than the other one. So it'll be just like this, but nickel plated and have some outstanding fake pearl grips on it. Square butt, 3-inch taper barrel, just a 6-shot 32 long, and another one is a Colt Pocket Positive, a blued Colt Pocket Positive with wood grips on it. Looks outstanding, and it's almost 100 years old. It looks very good for a 100-year-old gun. Little spots of pitting here and there. Overall, for something that's been around that long, it looks fantastic. It's got just enough wear on it that it gives a little character. And then I found a nickel-plated Detective Special. Be like a second issue. Be like this. Longer ejector rod. Got the notch in the sight. Just grooves on the trigger, grooves on the hammer. Let's see here. And then the latch release is just smooth. There was the older ones had checkering on the trigger, on the hammer, and on this right here, along with the shorter ejector rod and the half moon sight, which, God, I thought about taking this money and buying either a first issue Detective Special. I like the round butt and the square butt early Detective Specials. A round butt one, honestly, I would carry it. I even if it was older than this 1955 I got here, I would still carry it. I love being the only person that I've ever met in person. The only person I know, as far as, other than on the internet, the only person I know that carries nothing but old school revolvers. So, a round butt early issue Detective Special, I absolutely would carry it just for the fucking cool factor of it. But square butt one might be a little hard because it's just got a bulky ass grip. But God, those guns look beautiful. I just look up pictures. I have thousands of pictures of guns that I've screenshotted and just got them in albums of just so I can go through and just stare at them because I love them. I thought about getting an early Detective Special like that. I thought about possibly finally getting a blued snub-nosed Diamondback, which God knows I would love to have it. I would love to have it, especially with the shortened grip frame. Sure, I would like an older one, but that one is one where I would want to be able to put round butt grips on so I can carry it, and I also would like the square butt grips because then it's because I mean that's the Colt version of this gun right here, and that way if I can put square butt grips on it too, then it'd be kind of match this a little bit more. But it's another reason. That's one of the several reasons that I love those Diamondbacks, is because this is something I wanted this since I was a kid. Even when I didn't like revolvers, this is the blued one with the wood that I really fucking wanted as a kid, and I don't know, 20, 25, 30 years later, I finally got the thing. And I want the Colt version. Plus, that's what Steve McQueen carried, bullet. And, what's good enough for McQueen is good enough for me. But, anyhow, the Nickel Detective Special, it was redone. There's one spot either right here or maybe on this side somewhere, or, maybe right down here. There's one little spot where there's a little bit of pitting. But they have rubber grips on it, so it hides it. But when I put the panel grips on it, it's going to just lightly show, but I don't care. The rest of it looks like a brand new gun. And finding any old school nickel plated guns that are in perfect shape is not easy to do, especially if you're looking for a specific model. Now, if you're just looking for any old school Colt or Smith & Wesson that's nickel plated and looks great, you can find them. But finding specifically one particular model in nickel plate that looks great is I won't say it's very hard, but it's not easy to do, and they're not just readily available. Blued guns seem to have a better, I seem to see more blued ones that look nice and immaculate than I do nickel plated ones. Nickel plated, they're cloudy or chipped, rusted, pitting on it. I don't know, that's just been my experience. I don't know that that's the same for everyone, but just something about a blued revolver, man. These things are just absolutely cool. They're just cool, man. And there's no two ways about it. I don't know. I'm not a fan of Glock at all. I mean, I know they're good handguns. They're quality handguns. I ain't gonna knock them in that regard. I just don't like them because every fucking body else likes them. Everybody has one except for me. And so many people who either never owned a gun and going to buy their first will buy a 9mm Glock. And why? Because that's what everybody else has. And people, guys who aren't really gun guys, I would say, but they just want to have one just to have one, would typically go for that too. And Fucking everybody's got them, and they all look the same. I mean, a lot of people can look at these and think they look the same too, but they're not. This shit is a work of art. This is art. This ain't just some plastic that a mold popped out and they put a couple pieces on and it's ready to go. Like, this is artwork. It's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. You can't even compare the two. It's not even like comparing apples and oranges. It's like comparing apples and fucking road cones or something. They're just not even anywhere near the same. Personally though, I'm glad if everybody likes Glocks and they want to go buy that or any of the other polymer frame guns, go for it. Please. Because the less people that carry this shit or own this stuff, the better it makes me feel. And it keep the prices down. I saw a 3-inch Colt Cobra at that show. And both of them, the same guy was at both shows. But it's basically just like this with 1 extra inch added onto the barrel. The grips are original factory. These are replicas. But they were nice and dark. It just, I don't know. It's like, I've been comparing it to jazz music lately. Where when I was younger, say like my early 20s, probably early 20s, I went out to all the libraries around me, got as many CDs of different kind of music that I liked that I could, and burned all of them. I probably burned about 500 CDs. And at the time I was doing it, I was getting stuff that I wasn't quite into yet, but I was like getting into, like James Brown. I got a lot of stuff, a decent amount of stuff from him that, but I was like already starting to get into it. But what I also did, like, cause I was blues too. I already loved blues at the time, so I got a bunch of blues stuff. But what I did was, at the time, I was not yet into jazz music. And when I say jazz, I don't mean shitty, Yanni, smooth jazz bullshit. I'm talking like bebop style, Miles Davis, Coltrane, Charlie Parker, some good old school shit. But I wasn't quite into it yet. But it was just like, I knew, inside I knew, I'm like, dude, one day I'm going to love this shit. I know I'm going to. And I just couldn't quite hear it right yet, And when I put it in, I was like, it hasn't clicked yet. A little while. I went about 2 years with about roughly 80 CDs worth of jazz music, and I went for about 2 years, and every now and then I'd throw something in, and I'm like, nope, not yet. And then all of a sudden, one day after, it was Jerry Garcia doing a cover of the Miles Davis song, My Funny Valentine. I think that's Miles. It might be Coltrane, to be honest with you. One of them two. But anyways, he did a cover of that song, and ironically, there were no horns in it at all. But it was like just done in such a way where I was like, I'm like, I think it clicked. And ironically, that's one song. That's why I don't know who it is, because I never really listened to the actual real song. I'm starting to think it's Coltrane though. I think it actually is Coltrane. But I couldn't pick that. That's one song I could not pick out. If you played it for me, I wouldn't even know. Damn, Jackie, dude. This dog is the fartingest dog, I swear, dude. Whew. Smells like old, nasty well water and sulfur. Jack, dude. She's been having some belly problems lately. So I don't know if it's medicine or if it's just a couple cans of food I gave her, but she started just like having a shit real bad, like real runny, nasty, throwing up some. The puking wasn't too bad, but yesterday she kind of crapped a lot and peed in the house and pooped in the house, threw up in the house. Given her circumstances, she did a great job though. I put a big hospital blanket out, folded it in fours, so it was like like a 4-ply fucking blanket. And I set it down, and when I came home, it was wadded up off to the side. Quick glance at it, I didn't see no shit. It just looked like maybe she peed on it and kicked it off the side or something. Well, when I went to go pick it up, she shit all over that blanket. But somehow, she managed to roll it all up inside of itself so it didn't get shit on anything else. I'm still astounded. And I know how smart this dog is, and it still blows my mind. But But yeah, she never does that unless she's got something going on. And I don't know, she threw up still some today. But anyhow, when she's got upset belly, she farts worse more often, and it's usually even worse. Like, her shit and farts are fucking brutal, man. The only person I know that, like, my brother and this dude Louie I used to work with, they were by far the worst. Could clear a room. Like, my brother, when we were moving into a place we used to live at together, he busted ass in the stairwell, and all the doors just were closed, you know. So we were inside the apartment for a while trying to let it clear out. I think we actually opened the doors then. And about a half hour later, we came back out, and that sucker was just still hanging there waiting for us. Like, oh, God, it makes your eyes water and burns your nose hairs off. But she's about the same. She's easily on par with those two. Like imagine sitting there at night, you're like, you know, you wake up in the middle of the night, kind of half asleep, you go to move, and all of a sudden it smells like someone just took a big wad of shit and shoved it in your face. So anyhow, but she's doing good. Got some stuff for her pads. They got really dried out. Her pads are actually, like, it looks like dogs' pads almost look like they're like a leathery type of like a leathery texture, but they're actually not. That's just because they're calloused up from walking on them. From her wearing shoes and gloves all the time, her calluses went away, and they're actually these thick fibers. And you could, like, go against the grain, and they peel back, and they kind of just, they fall back. It's really wild looking. But some of them, due to the cold and due to the cushionings, have gotten really dried out and like hard, and it almost looks like some of them have fused together, because some of these hard ones are like 4 or 5 times bigger than the rest of them. So we got this stuff, Musher's Secret. Oh, there's the other one. Let's put on her pads. So I got that on her feet right now. I got to do her hands, and I put her gloves and her shoes on to keep her from licking it back off. But I don't know. She's had some stuff going on lately, but she's doing good though. She's feeling good. She's probably got upset belly a little bit, but she's doing good overall. But man, those farts, dude, I'm telling you, if I could like bottle that shit up, you could use it as stink bombs to clear rooms out, dude. I'm telling you, just take a little glass thing, just toss it in the room, and just wait. Everybody's gonna come running out. I don't know. Kind of lost my train of thought there. But anyways, I don't know. Just send me those polymer frame guns in general. They just don't compare to this. I mean, they hold more. They're quality from what I've understood. Don't really fuck with them myself, so I can't say personally, but that's what I've always heard. Especially I've heard Glocks are really good guns. You can beat the shit out of them and it's still going to work. But you know what? You can probably beat the shit out of this thing too, and it's still probably going to work. Depending on what you do, as long as you ain't smashing up the ejector rod or pulling the cylinder out, you know. But I don't know. It just ain't my thing. And I'm glad it's not, because too many people can all do the same thing, and I just don't want to. I don't want to be that way. I'd rather kind of do something different from the crowd. That's why I'm into football instead of American football. I'm in like world football so much, because it's just different. It's in the rest of the world, it's huge, but here in America, I don't know. I know one guy that actually watches it as much as I do. The guy that got me into it. Outside of that, nobody knows shit about it. You know, some people know a couple names, a couple teams' names, little details here and there, but they don't know a fucking thing about it. So, I like that. But there's just something about these things. I mean, look at this thing. It's just beautiful. It's just absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And I love having the pair. So, I have these two, you know, as a pair now. Both Chief Specials. Same style grips. I was originally going to put a flat latch on this one. I still may do it, because this one gun, I want to make this one into like, kind of like a project gun, if you will. I got the grips changed to what I want. I want to put a flat latch on it. I want to buy a different hammer, because I'm not chopping the original hammer. But I want to get a different hammer, bob it, get it all done up nice and smooth. And I want to get a target trigger for this one. This is the wide one. This is just a normal standard skinny trigger. They make them for J-frames, and it kind of just fills in the entire trigger guard here. But it's like just a little extra. It's nice. It's very nice. I've seen them a couple times, and I want one of those on here, and then the T-grip kind of comes on and off this one, you know. But I just want something that I've made my own, you know. I just have never get around to it because the parts, you know, not any one of them is not that expensive, but it's fucking, you know, remembering it, getting around to it, whatever, and the money I have coming. I already got plans for those guns, and I also have to buy grips for 2 of them, because the Detective Special, I found a nice set of Fake Pro grips to buy for that one too. And that way I'll end up finally having, not only will I have another pair of guns, you know, because this one I got the nickel one with the pearl, you know, so I got the match to that. I had the nickel one with this, and I had Fake Pearl for that as well, so I had the pair to this, but it just wasn't nice enough to keep forever, so I said, fuck it. My Model 64, my stainless one, that ain't going anywhere. That thing's fucking beautiful. I love that gun. That one's one pretty much everything I have now, I'm not getting rid of any of this anymore. So I'm out of shit to trade unless I could buy some stuff on layaway, and just things, you know, find nice old guns that aren't really high on my list. You know, used for trade. Other than that, and this money I should be getting here soon. Other than that, then probably won't be getting any guns for a while. But none of these, I don't plan on getting rid of any of these. Special. But anyways, oh yeah, so I have another pair, but also I will have the pair of guns that Shaft used in the first Shaft movie. And the second one, he was using one of these with a round butt, I think, and he may have had maybe he had a nickel one with pearl on it. Maybe he had a pair, maybe he just used the nickel one the whole time, I can't remember, but it was Chief Specials he was using in the second one. The first one he had, now granted this is not a Detective Special, but looking at it, it looks just like it. He had the blued one with the wood grips, and then he had the nickel plated one with Fake Pearl. So once I get that, I've loved that pair of guns. So once I get that, I'll have it. He also had a like a polished stainless T-grip on the nickel plated one. So eventually I'm gonna end up getting that too, and that'll be on there sometimes too. But it's slightly more of a famous pair of guns as opposed to just a blued nickel of whatever. But, and then I have a pair of these as well. Even though it's 2 different models, they're gonna look identical, you know, except for a 5-shot cylinder as opposed to a 6-shot. But you get what I'm saying. That'd be cool. And I like that because, and the Colt Pocket Positive, because they're both 32 Smith & Wesson caliber. So it's just another old school caliber, you know. I just, something about it. I mean, they may not have great stopping power, but dude, you shoot somebody with a 32 Smith & Wesson, I mean, unless you're shooting them through a fucking wall or something, I mean, they're pretty much, you know, it still works, dude. It still works. You can still easily defend yourself with that if necessary, but I like it too. I just want to have them, you know. It's that old school factor. It's like I got my 38 Special Derringer. I love that very old school, like Wild West style back in the day. I have a single action that doesn't work. I got a coach gun, you know. I got Wild West type shit, old school stuff, you know. I dig it. So hopefully I'm talking loud enough for this to pick up, because if not, I am not remaking this video. I'm already 50 fucking minutes in here, dude. But anyways, this is just so classy, dude. It's so classy. I mean, you know, I could be anywhere. It could be you know, like, take the people I work with. I mean, I don't carry guns at work, but You know, just say if, at the end of the day, if they're like, all right, everybody, you know, go grab your carry gun out of your car and let's compare. And everybody's putting plastic guns down, plastic guns. Somebody might have like a little compact 1911 or something cool. But, you know, I'm like, all right, well, here's one and here's the other. You know, it just stands out far and above anything that I see anybody else carry. This bad boy is too big to carry, but this sumbitch is this is just, God, I love this thing. I absolutely love this thing. So, this one is not super sharp. I tried sharpening it, but it just wasn't. Tried just sharpening it with a stone. I was trying to get the entire blade, and it just didn't really sharpen too well, but it's alright. I don't think it's really for cutting anyway. It was more for sticking. Right. Old school shit, man. So you got it's on a daily basis. Let's see here. That's pretty much it as far as weapons goes, but like, this is what I'd be carrying around me. You know, either this one or this one would be on my person. The other one's gonna be in the car. You got this and that, and then some speed loaders and speed strips and whatnot. But most people, if you ask them to empty their pockets, you know, people that are weapons people and gun people, like, nobody's most people are not gonna have this, and that's what I love about it. It's different. It's very different. So anyhow, it's getting late. It's Friday night. Been a long ass week. Busier than shit, as always. Busier than normal, it feels like. About to go eat some grub. But, I don't know. I gotta do a video on that little Lorcan, I'm not even sure how to say it yet. That little Saturday night special my grandpa had. It's cool. I have not yet shot this either. Little stainless. Jackie, what are you doing? Did you just wake yourself up? She just all of a sudden started kicking her leg like she's riding a bike. I think she just woke herself up. Yeah, I gotta do a little bit longer video on this one too. This thing's cool. I have not yet decided if I'm gonna polish it or not, but it sounds like my camera saw commotion outside. Give me 1 second. Alright, so back to this. I gotta do another video about this. I don't really know many details about it yet, other than my grandpa bought it on, I think it was November. I think it was the 7th of November in 2001. Never saw it until a few weeks ago. Never even knew he had it. But I don't even think it's been shot, to be honest with you. It looks really, really clean. So, anyways, he also had a shotgun. He had a Winchester 97, maybe? It's a long-ass barrel. It's got a 30-inch barrel in that fucker. Keep a tight pattern. It's quite some distance. But, it's 5-round plus 1 pump-action shotgun with the wood stock and the wood forearm on it. So I have to do something about that one too one day. But anyhow, happy Friday, and hope all is well with everyone. And I can't wait to see the comments of all the people talking shit about me having loaded guns in the video. It ain't that hard, man. That's why they didn't put safeties on these, because all you gotta do is just not pull the trigger. That's it. Don't cock the hammer, don't pull the trigger. You know, you can fucking sit here and spin this fucker. You can do this shit all day, and it's never gonna go off, because it has too heavy of a trigger pull. That is the fucking safety on it. The heavy trigger pull. That's why single action is not so heavy, because then you can, you know, you're basically turning the safety off by cocking the hammer. But anyways, I don't know, it's gonna be fun. I love talking shit to stupid people that have dumb things to say in the comments. Hold on. Alright, so anyways, sorry I heard some more noise. I love talking shit to the dummies that like the one time I just lightly flipped the cylinder shut because I had one, camera in one hand and I only had one hand to use, so I just did a little flip. And oh my god, you'd think that these people watch me just spin the cylinder and just whap, slap that fucker shut. And I mean, it's crazy, dude, at the fucking stupid shit people have to say about it. I mean, over and over, there's every now and then there's always another comment pops up, and I'm just like, dude, seriously, just go fuck yourself. I don't care about your opinions, dude. A little light cylinder flip, it ain't gonna hurt it, dude. It's just not. I don't care what anybody says. But I've noticed that the people that get all stupid about that, those are the people that really don't know shit about guns. Those are just the ones that, it's like, they don't know very much, but that's one thing they know. That's one thing they know is don't slam shut the cylinder. Don't slam it shut, Just don't slam it shut. And if you lightly flip it shut, apparently it's the same thing as slamming it shut, which are two very different things in my opinion. But I don't know, it's great. But yeah, there's people that don't really know shit. They just know that, so they take that little limited amount they use, and instead of having something constructive to say and having a conversation like so many of you out there actually do have conversation with me, which I love talking to people. Most people just have something cool, something constructive, something where you can talk back and forth some. But you always get them assholes every now and then that just they think they're they think they're just big men because they talk shit on the internet. Sorry you still live in your mother's basement, bud. It's not my fault you made poor life choices and girls don't like you and you got no friends. That's not my fault. Go take that bullshit out on somebody else. Like, seriously, dude. Why it is that people feel the need to tell me what to do with my own shit, I have no idea. I mean, if I wanted to fucking take and toss this in some fucking molten metal and just let it melt into it, that's my fucking choice. It'd be kind of dumb to do that, but, yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, a little light flip shut, it ain't gonna hurt your gun. I've done that enough times. It ain't gonna hurt shit. Now, if you seriously actually just flung that thing shut as hard as you can, yeah, it might do some damage then. But ironically, I have more trouble trying to unscrew this stupid ejector rod out of here. I actually bent the ejector rod on this thing so bad I couldn't use it for a while because I didn't know, because it's right around the time when they went from like threaded to counter thread on the ejector rods, and I didn't know which one it was. I couldn't, by looking at my Smith & Wesson catalog, I couldn't tell which one was going to be on it. So I'm sitting there trying one way, trying the other. I couldn't get it to budge. And when I closed it back up, when I just, shut the cylinder, I realized that it was bent. So I had to open it up. I had to take a hand towel, fold it up a couple times, lay it over this, take a rubber mallet, and just, beat the shit out of that thing. It had to, full on, hard, just hit that a bunch of times to finally straighten it back out. So, that actually caused damage, and that was just from trying to remove the cylinder, or the ejector rod, so I can, clean inside of the cylinder better, and, oil it up in there, and clean it out real good, because I'd never done that on this one. And, yeah, that actually caused a problem. What I love, too, is when you see people who talk shit about the little cylinder flip shut, but they sit and dry fire their guns. Like, dude, that's fucking far worse to do for your gun than a light cylinder flip. Dry firing, you can snap that fucking firing pin off, and then you gotta go get a whole new hammer and put it in, which, if you know what you're doing, it's not hard to do. Just get them online, but I'm just saying, that actually can very well easily cause damage to it. But a light cylinder flip ain't gonna do a fucking thing, I promise. Don't believe the hype. Shit, I had a little on my grip. Anyways, I can't wait to see the stupid shit that people are gonna say now. Oh my god, I can't believe you didn't See? There you go, folks. It's loaded. You know why? Because every gun in my house is always loaded at all times. I'm not going to sit and just make a giant pile of 38 and 357 rounds on my table and try to figure out what goes where when I'm done. So, anyhow, y'all have a good weekend. And I'll catch you on the next one.